Hey everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation. Well, Deep Purple are indisputably one of the greatest hard rock bands of all time. One thing that Deep Purple are famous for in respect of their albums is the opening track. Every opening track, without exception, on a Deep Purple album is an absolute cracker. Today's show, I'm going to highlight the five best opening tracks on any Deep Purple album, any lineup. So why don't we start off with my number five, Deep Purple best opening tracks. My number five, Hush. This was a huge hit for Deep Purple, reaching number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It's a cover of a Joe South number, and the immediate impact of this song is Jon Lord's Hammond organ riff and Rod Evans' energetic crooning on this song. Without the success of Hush, Deep Purple may never have gained the foothold that allowed them to evolve into the Mark II Deep Purple that we all know and love. This song showcases a more psychedelic organ-driven sound. Deep Purple were very much influenced by Vanilla Fudge. Even though this was a cover, Deep Purple transformed this into a hard-hitting rock anthem. In this song, you hear skerrits of Ritchie Blackmore's fine guitar playing. For me, the star of this song is Jon Lord. The Jon Lord Hammond organ commands attention. Rather than simply providing chords behind the band, he plays these bold, hard rhythmic stabs that become as memorable as the vocal melody. His tone is thick, slightly overdriven, and it's full of sustain, creating a wall of sound that was unusual in 1968. It's got aggression, this song. It's got drama, and it makes this song a compelling choice as an opening track for Shades of Deep Purple. My number five is Deep Purple and Hush. My number four, Knocking at Your Back Door, Perfect Strangers from 1984. When you hear the opening keyboard and bass, you give a shiver up the back of your spine. You knew straight away that Deep Purple was back. This is the signature song, one of two, the other being Perfect Strangers, that marked the return of Deep Purple as a viable heavyweight titan of hard rock in 1984. I've always said I think Perfect Strangers is one of the greatest comeback albums. Pound for pound, I love all the songs. It's pound for pound got classic hard rock riffs. On one hand, looks to the classic days of Mark II in the early 70s, but for a prism of 1984 production and sounds. It's a bit of the old and it's a bit of the new. Knocking at Your Back Door. I love Ian Gillan's wordplay. It's all full of sexual innuendos, but it's so tongue-in-cheek and it's totally Ian Gillan. And it's a little bit of a throwback to the Gillan days of that band of his in the early 80s. Ian Pace is right in the pocket, timekeeping, Roger Glover with his pulsating bass, and Ritchie Blackmore's guitar lines, that guitar solo in the middle, and he's putting his hand up as, here I am, I'm back in Deep Purple. One of the things of Blackmore's guitar solo, he uses the perfect intonated bends with this controlled vibrato. Each sustained note, it carries emotional weight. It's like you can hum it The guitar is crying out rather than just playing scales. He's making a statement. He's saying something. The solo perfectly illustrates the mastery of Blackmore's unique musical personality. And unlike a lot of guitar heroes in the 1980s, Blackmore avoids the endless tapping. It's economy over excess. He goes in, he makes his statement, and he comes out. And boy, is it memorable. Knocking at Your Back Door is my number 4 of Deep Purple's greatest opening tracks. My number 3 of the 1974 Burn album is the title track, Burn. Well, this song showcases the new singers in the band, and I say singers because you had David Coverdale, singer, and bassist singer Glenn Hughes as the newbies in the band, replacing Ian Gillan and Roger Glover. I always said that these were like the soulful hard rock version of Sam and Dave, the way their vocals feed off each other, counterpoint each other, riff off each other. Maybe not so successfully live, but on record, this is where they're in synergy and they're working in lockstep. Burn is Ritchie Blackmore's masterwork. It's neoclassical, taken to that next level. The soloing, the John Lord Hammond runs, which invoke Bach, very classical, and then Ritchie Blackmore does his counterpoint solo. It's all in that universe. The blueprint, may I say, for power metal, but that's for another day. And Ian Pace's drumming has never been better. It is so sublime, so intricate, the fills. It makes this song completely compelling. It's one of the greatest opening tracks on a Deep Purple album that you can find because it's kind of exciting. So when you hear Deep Purple play Burn live, it just picks up on the adrenaline rush. To me, this is like Mark III saying, this is our Machine Head, this is our Highway Star, and boy, oh boy, what a song to start off the album and announce Mark III to the world. My number 2 may be a little bit controversial because of the order that it comes in, but I'm going to say Highway Star off the Machine Head album. Machine Head album has not an inch of fat, and there is not one filler track on that album. It is rightly regarded as a masterpiece album and one of Deep Purple's milestone hard rock albums. Highway Star is a landmark in many, many aspects in the way it sounds sonically. It's kind of provided a blueprint for hard rock in the 70s in respect of how a singer should sing, vocal space that influenced so many of the rockers in the late 70s and the 80s. And then you got Ritchie Blackmore's neoclassical swagger and his runs, his arpeggio runs, and less is more, the space between the notes. And then you've got Ian Pace with his fluid drumming, so precise, so crisp, the timekeeper, the one that has got the groove and the swing, and Roger Glover on the bass, just propelling it along. It is a great song. It's part of the Deep Purple song set list, which is ingrained to this very day. and it's my number 2 as one of the greatest Deep Purple opening tracks on an album. I've chosen this song because it's my favorite Deep Purple song, and I did a show a few years back on my favorite Deep Purple songs of all time, and I nominated this song as my number 1, and I still say this is my favorite song. So, speaking of In Rock, I think the influence that In Rock, when you look at the album cover, it has the Mount Rushmore, different members of Deep Purple. It's announcing to the world this is a monumental album, and the level of influence this album had is immeasurable in hard rock and heavy metal to this very day. Speaking comes out of the speakers, it's a beautiful mess. It's you hear the different effects that are coming out of Ritchie Blackmore. You hear the swirling of the keyboard sounds of Jon Lord. Speaking has the defining drum performance of Ian Pace's career. I've always thought he was like the Buddy Rich of hard rock. What makes it so remarkable is he has this controlled aggression. He plays with tremendous intensity, and it never sounds like he's forcing the tempo, even though the song races along at a blistering pace. At any moment it can get out of control. Every snare hit and cymbal accent lands exactly where it should. He does this amazing speed with a single bass drum pedal, and his snare playing is absolutely sublime. It's crisp and authoritative. Amongst the heaviness of this song, he plays with so much swing and groove. And boy, oh boy, in between the notes, he injects these little explosive fills. I think one of the real stars beyond Lord and Ritchie Blackmore, because his playing is out-of-worldly as well, is Ian Pace. One of the things about Ritchie Blackmore's playing on this, it feels almost reckless and it's careering out of control, but it doesn't. It never loses its direction. He pushes against the beat, puts a phrase where it shouldn't be, but it lands perfectly. His picking attack is fierce and precise, and there's drama through the dynamics. This is the perfect blend of mixing it up with neoclassical with blues. The fusion of blues, this fusion is just sublime. Well, there you have it. 5 Deep Purple opening tracks. Please let us know what your 5 greatest Deep Purple opening tracks are. Any album, any lineup, the whole discography. Love to read your comments. Please check out Rock Daydream Nation. Please like and subscribe. Plenty of shows, all different rock content. But one thing's for sure, there'll be another show coming on the channel just around the corner. All the best and cheers.